man, I get emotional thinking about all the stuff that this kid has been through, and where he's at. It gives me chills. I'm just so proud of Davey and his family. It's such a blessing to see stories like this. And if you don't know the name Davie Morgan and you're following the Clovers this year, you will know Davey. You'll remember Davie Morgan, I can promise you that.
Yeah, I think baseball's a lot like life. There's a lot of failure involved, and it makes the times you do succeed, makes you feel good about it, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and it's been a love and a passion for me.
Welcome back to it, man. Another year at the draft house, talking it up. So we should be in a good place to pretty much go full tilt right on opening day. All the guys that are coming in that might be late are actually all new guys too. So that's going to help a little bit.
We really want to make sure we have the expectation that we're playing from game 1 to 50, no matter who it is, the same level.
We're not recruiting from the same pool of players, right? So a lot of new faces and a lot of guys getting their last run at it. So
honestly, when I look at this, it just looks like everybody wants to be a Clover. Whatever day the championship is, we're going to be holding the trophy. So I'm excited and glad to be part of the Close Show.
Man, Davie Morgan, my favorite episode. Very, very, connected with this guy and his family. Tremendous family. Family breeds baseball like nobody I've ever seen. First thing that jumps out to me when I think of Davie Morgan is who he is off the field. A tremendous human being. He's been battle-tested. He's dealt with so much adversity in his life. His faith and his connection to Jesus Christ is such an incredible thing. It's just such an awesome story, man. So this episode is top-notch. Davey is elite.
When Louis had the idea of creating the Clovers and everything, I was one of the first people that he called to come play, and I have a special place for Louis, so of course I told him that I was going to come play, and I didn't really know what it was going to entail, but I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. And I love what the Clovers embody as far as being in the community and playing the right way and carrying yourself with a certain level of accountability. And that's kind of the culture that we've tried to create in Clayton. And I love the support from the community and how they show out at every game. And, I love them as much as they love me. And I really enjoy playing there. And that's why I'm looking forward to one more summer with them. That's what made me want to come back.
Yeah, when Davey started with the Clovers, I think he was the first one to hit a home run for the organization 3 years ago. And he stayed dedicated through that year and just love the atmosphere down there in Clayton that we have. Starting out with the Clovers, I got a call from Lou, and Lou says, Davey's already signed it. He was the first one to sign it when we first started the Clovers. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. So it's like, oh, okay. It was one of those things that we didn't even know. Okay, yeah, Davey's gonna play summer ball, and he's already signed up for the Clovers, because I think there was a couple other teams at the time that wanted him to come play summer ball, and it was new to us his first year there, I'm glad that he did. I'm glad he chose the Clovers, and
very, very appreciative for the relationship I've had with the Morgan family over the couple of years. Big shout out to Chris Cullum, who helped cultivate a lot of, Davey's thoughts. Chris Cullum was Davey's high school coach at Bunn, who gave me the opportunity to get into high school coaching. and get the chance to meet some of the tremendous kids through the Bunn High School program. And Davey was one of them that, touched me on a very heartfelt, spiritual connection type of way.
I met Louie in, I don't even know what year it was. I know it was in high school. It was probably my sophomore year, junior year maybe.
I'm fresh out of indie ball, fresh into high school coaching, learning a lot about what it is to communicate the game with 15, 16-year-old kids.
He came in and kind of with that attitude and that talking junk, and, I kind of took to that, and, he realized the kind of player I was and the kind of work ethic that I had, and I think that's why we kind of meshed, because, he had that same work ethic from a coach's standpoint, and he felt that he could invest in me.
I challenge these guys. I talk a lot of smack. I worked my butt off as a coach, and I wanted to make sure that they worked their butt off as a player. So Davey had there was no doubt that Davey was going to do that.
That relationship kind of grew over the years and throughout college, and I played with him on the Fungo and Fuquay Twins and a bunch of different summer ball teams until Clayton got started. That's kind of why when he told me that he was starting this team, that I knew I wanted to be a part of it.
It was a startup team at first, they started from scratch, so we didn't know what it was going to look like. But he did not care. It was Lou, and he wanted to play for the Clovers, and we were excited too because it was Lou, and we believed in what what his vision was.
Because the first year we won it, second year we got there, as far as the Clovers go, and this year it's probably going to be a fight. A lot more competition, better competition, which is good because it makes the boys better. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to this year.
Davey's going in, I think, with a few of his old teammates, and I'm sure we have a lot more teammates. And he said, they're all going to be looking at him like, who's that old man, that 24-year-old who's going to be playing? But he's going in for his second year as captain, and I think that he's got a lot to teach them and show them. So I'm excited for his last year, for sure.
Fresh out of high school, at alma mater, really tried hard to get him over at Barton College. The coach that coached me there signed him. Awesome coach. Coach Simmons was the man. It just so happens there was a coaching change at the program. So Davey's freshman year wasn't recruited by his coaching staff. It was placed on JV, believe it or not, which is absolutely insane to me. Davey dealt with some adversity, decided to leave Barton College, take the JUCO route, dealt with some adversity in the JUCO route, hung the cleats up, decided to quit playing the game of baseball, really battled with some stuff internally, tested him, as a man and really made him dig deep and kind of find out who he was.
So I came in the spring of 21, and that was after taking a year off of baseball because I felt like I couldn't do it anymore. And kind of went to work and with my dad, and one day I just decided to try to hit again and realized I still got it.
Got a random call from him one day. He's in the batting cage. He just got done hitting with his dad, and he tells me, man, I can still do this. Like, I still got this. Just a no-doubt situation to see him land where he landed. He had a good conversation with Coach Clifton over at Wesleyan.
I hit up Coach Clifton, and he gave me the opportunity to come in here and play, and he's been a big role in my life for the last 4 years in developing me as a person, as a leader, and really with my faith too.
He took a leap of faith and decided to go play at NC Wesleyan University, and boy, it didn't work out.
4 years later, I'm gonna retire as top 5 in almost every offensive category here. I've won a conference championship, played in regionals, and just wouldn't trade it for the world.
Last year, he struggled. He had a really rough season. Prior to that, he had gotten every accolade, all region,
Player of the week
a couple times, all conference and all that. And so last year he wasn't awarded anything, and he just really struggled last year. And I think a lot of it started when the preseason polls came out, and they preseason polled him to be second team All-American for the year. And I think that he had trouble with the pressure to be better than his own self was last year.
Named All-American was probably the highest for me. And then coming back into 2023, it was kind of a struggle for me. The whole year just kind of getting going and, adjusting to what pitchers were doing to me, and that was the hardest part. And kind of dealing with failure after having success, and then kind of questioning your ability and questioning whether, you still got it. And I think I took that to heart and kind of put that into this past fall and this season, and I feel like I've turned things around, and I'm very thankful for the failure afterwards, because I didn't want to allow that to get me too high, because then you start losing those relationships and you start getting selfish, and I don't want to make it about me. I wanted to make it about the guys around me and doing it for them. So I'm thankful for that failure and the success too. But it's all, when you put it all together, I wouldn't change anything that's happened. What made it hard is just, like I said, the fact that you kind of doubt yourself. You wonder if the previous season, if that was the kind of player you are, or what you're doing now, is that the kind of player you are? And it's a battle in your mind. And nothing's going to get better until you win that battle. And at the end of the day, you can't really control the results. The numbers are what they are, and you just have to go out there and be confident and carry yourself a certain way, that people know that you're confident. So I think it's just getting past that and just kind of moving forward is the best thing for me.
He's hit, five home runs, I think, this year, and a lot of doubles. I think he's 7 doubles away from matching the record for Wesleyan. So he has, we're hoping for 8 doubles by the end of the season, so he can beat the record for that.
Yeah, I think definitely I had a lot of support from my family and the coaching staff and my teammates and my faith too as well. But yeah, I think just those aspects kind of keep you grounded when you're going through that kind of trouble. You know what I mean? It puts you in a dark place, and it's really hard to pull yourself out of it. So having a good support system around you really helps. And I think just making the choice to be better the next year, and really take that to heart and kind of put that into my off-season training, and being in the best possible position I can be come season time. And that's kind of what I try to do this year, is just put myself in the best position, and whatever happened. But I feel like I'm in the best spot I've ever been in my career. Big Nate.
How you doing, bro?
What's up, bro?
Roll porks, baby.
Roll Porks, baby. That's who we played in the championship last year.
He started playing baseball when he was like 4 years old, and we played in a Roseville league, and we played some Little League All-Stars. Went on to a point where we worked for the Warehouse Athletics out of Roseville, and we started our own travel ball team.
The first team that I remember was the Carolina Riptide. My dad started that team, and he coached me, and that was, I think, 11 or 12U travel ball.
We did very well. We won like 75% of our games at the younger ages, and Davey and a couple other kids basically led the team with home runs at that time, and we just kept going, and we saw that he had the opportunity to go to the next level, to be able to play college ball and to move on from there.
I think I've always been passionate about the game, but it probably really started in high school ball, kind of when the atmosphere gets a little heated sometimes. And that's where I met Louis, was at Bunn High School, and I kind of took to him. He really helped me too, as far as the competitive aspect of the game. And I remember there was a time where he got on the mound and he threw to us, and I had 2 at-bats off him. One of them was a homer, and then the other one was a line drive off of his leg. Couldn't sit on the toilet for 2 weeks. I remember that, and I'm sure he does too.
One day at practice, we got a little carried away. Little John went back and forth to the point where finally, I just told Davey, like, dude, get in the box. You're going to get an AB off me right now. So once again, fresh out of playing. I mean, I'm probably 91, 92 at this point, pretty sharp slider. And this kid's a high school junior. I think he just got his driver's license, and first pitch, dead center, no doubt home run. I mean, probably one of the hardest hit balls I've given up in my baseball career. So that started the rivalry between, Coach Lou and Davey, which was hilarious. So, the competitive spirit in me tells him, get back in the box, man. We're doing this again. And ball one, next pitch, line drive up the middle, smokes me, fresh off my leg. I tell you, I walked with a limp for probably 2.5 weeks. Never faced Davie Morgan again. Never wanted to.
I think he got his first home run for high school in the 9th grade. Yep, off of Justin Bullock, who is in the MLB right now. His coach is like, he's so small, I don't know if he's going to be able to hit off of him. And we believed in him. And he got up there, and I think it was his second at-bat, and he just put it over the fence. And that was pretty much the beginning of his high school career. So we were excited to see that, and his coaches really believed in him. And then he, went on to commit to college and has had a very successful career with that.
You put the pressure on yourself, and I think early on in high school I kind of would put the pressure on myself, especially if there were big schools there. And but that was kind of the learning curve that I had to get over, was to not put pressure on myself and realize that my talent was good enough, and just go out there and play and do what I know that I could do.
In high school, when he did hit that home run off Justin, Lou was there. Coach Colum was the other coach from them, and he actually, they used him to back up a hitter that got drafted called Spencer Brickhouse, who was like 3 times the size as Davey. And he went to ECU, ended up going to ECU. He drafted, he played professional ball too. So coach was like, yeah, he's kind of small, but he's the only guy I believe that can back up this best hitters, because Spencer ended up having like 33 intentional walks that year, so they would have to pitch to Davey that year. So
I think Davey was maybe 5'6", and Spencer Brickhouse was 6'4" at the time, because this was when he was a freshman. So they would stand in the lineup, and we would chuckle because it was like this. and Davey would stand on a bucket to get over the fence, but it was an honor to be able to bat, I think, behind Spencer and get him to the next base where he needed to be. His height has played a lot against him with certain coaches. A lot of colleges want to see those 6-foot-something guys, and Davey sits at 5'7", 5'8", and he's had to prove himself over and over again that he can stand up to the task, that he can hit those pitchers and field those balls. And they got him at second base. So he played second and catcher and some third for high school, but when he got to college, it was strictly second base, and he's really flourished at that.
A lot of coaches write Davey off because he's 5'7", 5'8", but dude's got the heart of a lion. That I can't say enough about Davey's baseball ability. But what makes Davey special is not his baseball ability. It's who he is. It's who he's matured as a man.
I had some bigger schools that told me I wasn't big enough, or, however they felt I didn't check certain boxes or whatever. But I just, like everything else in my life, I just kind of put that chip on my shoulder, and, my goal is to prove everyone wrong, whether it's them or even now. Like, if anybody doubts me, my goal is to prove them wrong.
I think Dave knew that it was time to move on from coaching Davey when Davey hit a line drive back to him, and it broke his arm, just shattered, hit his arm. Yeah, so we knew that he had some bat speed and some power behind him. So he was like, okay, we can't really do much with him anymore, but just encourage him. And we're his biggest fans.
Next up is second baseman from Pinecrop, North Carolina, number 23, Davie Morgan. Escorted by his parents, David and Nancy Morgan, a 4-year starter at Wesleyan. Davie is a career .351 hitter and has never hit below 300 in a season. Round of applause from your 2024 senior partners.
Classes have been real nice here. I mean, the professors are, you know, they know you on a personal level, and, you know, the class size is real small, and that's kind of what drove me here. And, you know, hey, there's one of my teammates right there, Preston Workman. Call him P. Diddy. He's our Game 3 starter. But just the atmosphere here is, it kind of feels like my hometown, like real small. You know, everybody knows everybody, and, you know, you can just walk throughout campus and see somebody you know. That's what I love about it, and everything's so tight and compact in the campus, and, you know, everything's easy to get to. You can pretty much walk everywhere. Dude, got that haircut?
Bro, I know, it sucks.
Let me see that thing. Culture on campus is really centered around athletics, and, you know, we all support each other, and this campus basically wouldn't be here without the athletes, because I think it's around 85% of the students here are athletes. So, you know, that culture is gonna be naturally ingrained here, and, you know, it has been for a long time. And, you know, the professors here understand that, and they're willing to work with you as far as missed classes and missed assignments. So, you know, it's just a really good atmosphere and good culture here that I'm glad to be proud of.
His brothers look up to him and admire him. They have been on the field since they were, since I left the hospital. We had to come to games because they were both born in the late summer. So we had to come from the hospital to games for Davey because we just don't like to miss games. So it's exciting to watch that and for them to be underneath him and learn from him.
Let me get one. Oh my gosh. See ya. You ain't ready for this.
For the most part, we've all been together. You know, Davey stayed with us and commuted for the last 4 years, so he's been here at the house. You know, we live 20 minutes away from the campus, so he drove there and back and went to practice and all that. But.
Laser.
There it goes, that
Of course, knock that thing over. That's what I was trying to do today. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Didn't happen. You don't have the short porch of the Yankee field, so.
That ball would have went out anyway.
So what's our schedule for next week? Monday? You got one Monday too, Del?
Tuesday.
You got practice Tuesday?
Yeah, on Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then 2 Saturdays. You're a thrower.
Yeah, I'm a thrower, not a pitcher, I'm a thrower. I just get up there and throw the ball.
My deadlift,
Yeah, what's your deadlift?
565.
565?
Trap bar.
I'm close to that. 450. Trap bar.
That's for 3. I'm doing 3 rep max.
I did 2.
Form's probably really bad though. Probably would hurt my back watching it.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're Clover family now.
You got 2 years left of high school.
0 in high school.
Yeah, you got a long time.
Still very young.
Class of 2032.
Is that actually what he is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because I was 18.
Class of 2018. Class of 2032.
You know, baseball's been part of my life for as long as I can remember, and, you know, my dad didn't know much about it, you know, when I first started out when I was real young, but, you know, he kind of learned through me and through watching games and everything else like that, and he's always been the first one to help me, you know, and he's still the guy I go to when I'm struggling, and, you know, I'm really thankful for him, and not only the time, but the money that he's put in for me to play this game, because it is an expensive game to play, and, you know, I just really appreciate all the efforts that him and both my mom put in, and, you know, all the time that he spent out in the backyard working with me, and all the lessons that, you know, he beat into my head are kind of still with me today, and they guide me, and they help me do my thing out there, and that's what I build on. Stuff I've got over the course of my career. Yeah, so these are some of the awards I got in high school. MVP 2 years, 2017, 2018, and then the 2016, 2017. And then Offensive Player of the Year my sophomore year. And then these are some of my college awards. First team, all conference, stuff like that. And this is actually a home run derby I won when I was 12 years old, and I still hold on to that. This is the award that the ABCA sent me for being named all region. So it was cool to get that framed, and then my mom did that for me for my All-American season. So that's pretty cool, named by the ABCA and then the D3Baseball.com. And then these are some of the newspaper clippings when I've been in college so far. I got a couple more, but they're not up here. Some from this year, and then this is a mix between high school and college. And then all conference stuff from high school. And then that's our senior year picture and just some a little brochure from this year. And these are all duck stamps with the printouts that I've collected over the years, and you know, all the teams I played for. So, you know, Clayton Clovers, of course. And then my hat from when I was at Barton, and I don't know what I did with my Wake Tech hat, but. And then this one was given to me by Chris Corbett. He was my hitting coach my first year at Wesleyan, and he played with the San Francisco Giants, but he coaches in the Rangers organization now. And these are some of the home run balls I've gotten back. I haven't gotten most of them back. And then the two coins from the regionals and then the conference championship ring. So pretty proud about that. Got our names printed in it and everything. Yeah, so the goal is to get another one of these this year. So gotta make it happen. Little hint into my passion, which is hunting. And these are two of the turkeys that I shot. Well, actually, this is the third one, but I didn't get the fan mounted for that. But this is definitely a big passion for me, and when I'm done playing, this is something I'm always going to go to. And baseball isn't the only thing that I have in my life, so I'm really in love with hunting, and it's never going to stop for me.
First Clovers home run ever. First Clovers hit. First Clovers run scored. First Clovers player signed. I mean, it's just crazy that the list goes on and on and on. You know, last year, Davie Morgan lost in the regional with Wesleyan. The game ended at like 11:30 p.m. and the dude's in the dugout the next day at 3 p.m. dressed in uniform, ready to play. Refused to take some time off. So he's a dirty grinder. We love Davey. Couldn't be any more happy with where his baseball career has ended up.
So he got no break from February until
July or August.
August,
I think
right?
Yeah.
And he played 40-something games with the Clovers and
40 games with
40-something games here, so like 80 games just back-to-back nonstop. So he was pretty tired at the end of the summer, for sure.
Well, I think I have a passion for coaching, but more so a passion for hitting. So I have a really, I love hitting. I mean, I think about it constantly. I watch videos about it, and I feel like I know enough to how the body moves to help these guys out to where they can kind of blossom and become, you know, the best hitter they can be. And whether that's developing them in the cages or on the field or in the weight room, I feel like I have a lot to offer, and that's kind of why I feel like I'm being led to go that way.
There's more hands-on stuff that he loves to work, even like she was saying with the kids, you know, just sitting there working with the kids. And he just recently, and this was a high school kid, I think it was, he was struggling. I forgot his name, but he was struggling. And he says, Davey told him that same thing I told you. He says, next at bat, right? So he went over there and told the kid, and sure enough, the kid hit a double the next at bat, you know. But just working with him to tell him, say, hey, this is where it's just a little bit, you know, it's not a major change, just a little niche right here. And the kid changed it, and lo and behold, he got a hit, you know. So, and of course, you know, you see the big smile on Davey's face. He turns and looks at you and says, I did that, you know. But not really, you know, the kid did that. But you know what I'm saying, just to help somebody out. And that's the joy that he has in helping somebody when hey, they get a hit and they didn't, you know, go back to the bench with their head down.
There's more that goes into it than just on the surface level. You know, it's basically investing into people and kind of taking them underneath your wing and kind of teaching them the right way to do it, the right way to go about it. And you know that failure is going to happen, and that learning from it is the best way to succeed, and just the competitiveness aspect to it. You know, you're successful 3 out of 10 times, you're a good hitter, and that's hard for some people to swallow, but you know, you just gotta not be so result-based and turn that off and just get in the box and compete, and that's what I love about it.
Mr. Clover, Mr. Captain, right? Like Davie Morgan's an awesome guy. Looking into his last year of playing with the Clovers, certainly hope it. I don't believe it should be his last year of playing baseball. Kid has an opportunity and stacks up against some of the best hitters I've ever played with, played against, coached, seen. Kid can absolutely play the game of baseball at a high level. Will outwork, a lot of people. I'd put him in the top 1% of work ethic. He's built different. Countless hours in the weight room, in the batting cage. Can't say enough about the kid.
I try not to think too much into the future about what my path is going to be, because I trust God with that, and I'm just trying to enjoy right now, because I know that I don't have much time left to play here. And once this is over, then I'll move into the next phase, which is the last season with the Clovers. And then once that's over, I'll move into coaching in some aspect. I think that's my calling. That's what I feel like I'm being led to do. With all that I've been through and all my experience, I feel like I have a lot to give, and I just kind of want to stay in the game, because it's really hard to get away from it. So that's kind of what I want to do and what I feel like my path is.
Six at second base, number 23, Davie Morgan.
We should be in a good place to pretty much go full tilt right on opening day.
We believe in them. You're here because we recruited you, because you're a good ball player. We know that.
Obviously, first half, 12 games.
You think this fast?
Balls out in 12 games. The weight on these games is awesome for me. Like, it's going to turn it up. There's not going to be those slow nights.
Make sure we have the expectation we're playing from game 1 to 50, no matter who it is, the same level.
No pressure, man. It's coming out, having fun, changing lives. It's fun.